Hey guys, my name's Salvatore,
And my name is Nick.
and this is the MotorMarvel. So this is episode 1 of just weekly news of what's going on in the car community, and obviously we'll talk about
Yeah, look, a bit of track stuff, a little bit of car stuff, some car reviews, some new cars, a whole bunch of things that are happening pretty much in the motoring world that we have a bit of interest in and want to talk about and see what's going on.
and just what we're holding too.
Yeah.
Like on the 26th of October, we have a Cars and Coffee event.
Make sure you are there, boys.
If you're in Sydney, because if you're not, unfortunately, you can't come. But if you're in Sydney, it's at Piccolo Spot in Victoria Avenue, Castle Hill, just under the spotlight, and it's at 6:30 p.m. at night, and it's free entry, so everyone's welcome.
And look, guys, there's going to be some mad cars, some giveaways, some awesome people there. Come, catch up with us, meet us if you haven't, have a look at some cool cars and just talk motoring, guys. Hang out. What it's all about. We're trying to prosper this motoring community, get some people together, get some cars together, and just enjoy a good time.
Let's do it. So what we're talking about, well, me and Nick have been talking about this during the week, is V8 Supercars. Currently, what we got Holden. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, we do, but it's not really a Holden.
Yeah, correct.
They got Forward, and now
Yep.
we're going to have Lexus.
We've got Camaro, Mustang,
Yep,
and we're going to have the Lexus now.
we're going to have Lexus now, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, very exciting, I think. So, actually, it's not Lexus, is it? It's Toyota.
Oh, it's
They're
Toyota.
bringing a Supra. You got confused?
I got confused.
Yeah.
No, I got confused. So here we are. I got confused. Sorry, that's the worst part of starting a podcast. But no, I got confused because the engine they're actually using is in the LCF,
Right.
the Lexus LCF.
That's the engine they're using to
That's
be,
the
to be
LCF 500.
Yeah.
LC 500 or LCF 500. Fucking
LC 500.
It's
I think,
LC 500.
but We'll confirm.
We'll confirm. But we've got the laptop behind us. Best way to start a podcast about cars when you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're using the engine from that, which is the 5-litre V8, which is going into the Supra.
Correct. Yeah. So super body shape, obviously, with the Lexus engine,
Which is going to be pretty freaking dope, and it's going to sound pretty insane.
Yeah, pretty keen for that. I'm interested to see what it's actually going to sound like.
Well, I'm interested to see what it's going to do, if it's actually going to put up a good fight.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things they've always had issues with any of these V8 cars and when they bring them in is actually a lot of the parity, right? When they're just trying to get these cars for like when it comes to drivers sitting in a car and the performance out there on the track. It's actually quite a hard thing to do. You're matching weights, you're matching engine types, engine styles, torque, power, aerodynamics, brakes. There is a million things you've got to do with these cars, right? Because they're trying to create an environment where these cars out there on the track are all the same. So all that the difference is the driver. So they're going to have a lot of work to do. I'm sure they've probably already done a lot of this.
They've
before
probably done
announcing
so
it,
much
right?
R&D,
Yeah, to try and get it to the point. But that's a big thing because what they want is these cars, right? The last thing they want to do, let's throw Supra in there. They go out there and they smash the field.
Yeah, but it's not
Or
really...
vice versa, they're not competitive and Toyota goes, why are we here?
Yeah.
It's...
But the thing is, it's not really a Supra. It's based on a tube chassis.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what they... It's the same with the other cars. The Mustang, the Camaro, it's the same.
It's like...
Yeah.
There's the Supra's body on the top, but it's really not really a Supra.
And a different engine.
Yeah, I get it, but it's not really a Supra.
Yeah.
But I am very excited to see it go out there. On another note I saw tee shots and spy shots on a Lexus LFA successor.
I saw that as well, and I was a little bit like, okay, tell me some more. I don't know too much about it. What did you say?
They saw testing. I can't remember the track itself. I sent you if you go on your phone.
Yeah, was it Nürburgring or where did they go?
I don't know, but they were testing an LFA successor, and it sounds like it's a V8 twin turbo. It doesn't sound like the naturally aspirated V10, unfortunately. So we're not getting that. So that noise is undistinguishable.
You sent it on this or on you?
I sent it on that. Oh no, I sent it on Facebook. Yeah.
That'll be right.
That I'm actually quite excited for because if there is going to be a Lexus LFA successor,
I mean that's been a class car, like a phenomenal car for how many years. Everyone you talk to, LFA, love it. Sounds amazing. Revs out.
But the problem is if they're going to have twin turbocharged V8s, it's going to be like everything else. This is the problem. This is the problem we were going. This is where the problem we're leading into with cars at the moment. Is that I'm not saying none of the supercars that are coming out are exciting or fun or anything like that, but they're all twin turbocharged. They're not any different from each other.
It's kind of the way everyone's going at the moment. I mean, it's that I think they're trying to still stick power, performance, and everything in there while trying to tick somewhat of an emissions. And it's pretty hard to go past these days. Turbos are providing so much power for so much response. It's hard to go past, man.
But it's just
I get what you're saying.
Like back in the day, okay, if we go back in the day, you had I'm talking about when the Enzo Ferrari came out. You had V12 from the Enzo Ferrari. You had the V10 from the Carrera GT.
Yep.
Right. You had V12 again from the Lamborghini Murcielago, right?
Yep.
And then from McLaren, right? Well, they weren't really in the picture at that point in time, but you had so many different variants of motors, and yes, some of them did share V12s, but their V12 sounded so much different. You know the difference between a Ferrari V12
unique, right?
to a Lamborghini V12.
Yeah.
Now
you watch Jeremy Clarkson, right? He sits at those videos. He's sitting at the cafe, and he's like,
and you know exactly what V12 it is.
Yeah.
But now, mate, they all sound the same. You can't say all, and because of all the emissions and stuff. They're muffled.
I get it, yeah.
So all the V8 twin turbos, like, okay, AMG V8 twin turbo compared to a BMW V8 twin turbo.
Very different.
You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just, we're heading down a realm of cars getting twin turbochargers, no more naturally aspirated happening. And the only car company that's doing it is Porsche.
Yeah, and look, do you see the announcement they made the other day?
That's right.
There's a new patent actually that they've just released for a new engine. So they're still doing the NA and they're still sticking with it.
Yeah.
But they're actually redeveloping a new one from the ground up with a whole bunch of new internals and a new way of functioning. So we had a bit of a squiz at that the other day. I don't think we really know the specifics on how it's actually
how it works, but
they're talking about
there's a new engine, new naturally aspirated engine. So they're not giving up.
Correct, and they've said that. They got the commitment to there. They got the patent for this new engine. It's meant to be more power, more efficiency, more this, more that. And I mean, when you talk about Porsche's engine, it is already the most powerful per literage engine in the world. And they're talking about developing another one that's going to be better. Yeah. And it's still a petrol-based engine. Yeah. So, when you talk about that, right, that is still seeing Porsche with a commitment to petrol engines.
So another fascinating thing which we found out, well, we've known this for a while, is the fact that the electric car trend is dying.
It is definitely dying, and a lot of manufacturers, and we've just seen, as we're mentioning, Volvo, who've done it as well, have pushed out this. A lot of everyone's had this 2030 mandate, right? It's been 2030, we've got to be electric,
Mercedes was the first one on the bandwagon. And guess what happened with their C63?
And look, what we saw the other day too, they've dropped 10-15% off the new C63 to try and get sales going because it's not going so well.
No, so you can see, like Nick was saying, like by 2030 they had this plan of everything being electric, and they understand that people are like, no.
Yeah, it's just not going to plan, obviously, and I think they've seen that with trends, car sales, everything else. People just aren't adopting it like that, and I think there's a bit of resistance there. I mean, take me, for example. I actually had
had the Macan.
I had the new Porsche Macan Electric on order, ready to go. A slot, ready to rock and roll early this year. I cancelled that, and I just had to think and a look at that, and I was like, this market ain't looking so good. It's definitely going to be potentially kind of going to dump a lot of money on. Yeah. Because I think when I buy it, it's going to start to go down the gurgler.
Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah. Their resale value
are just dying.
The reason why I think this is main reason for this is like, you think of electric cars, right? Electric cars are like a mobile phone. How many people do you know keep their iPhone 13, 12? They just chuck it out.
It's disposable.
There's no point of reselling it because the resale value over a couple of years is that you just update. Yeah. And that's what people are doing with electric cars.
That's what I was like, look, I'm going to get this. I'm a little bit on the fence about electric anyway. Yeah. And when I ordered it, I ordered it probably about 2 years ago. I was like, look, man, I'll give it a go. Yeah. Everyone's talking about electric. It's in. Maybe it'll do me. I got the kids. I'll drive around daily basis. Yeah. It could do the job. Let's put one on order and see how we go. But the last couple of years is the way it's gone now. I just think I'm going to drop, I think it's 180 grand on this Porsche Macan. And I reckon I'll, if I don't like it after a year or two, my initial thoughts were, well, let's maybe get out of it. Yeah. But the used car market, going down the gurgler. Yeah. Electric now isn't looking so hot.
Well, apparently I heard on the down low, Subaru Australia is refusing to take in second-hand. Like, if you try to trade in an electric car, they're not taking it.
Well, that makes sense, right? Why would you want it?
Why would you want it? Because they can't resell it. And if they try to resell it, they're going to lose money on it. So the problem is this is what's the problem. It's a fast consumer good. That's what it is. And when an update comes out, people just update.
Oh, and that's the problem too. We've still got the EV market, right? Yeah. Is moving very quickly at the moment as far as technology. Yeah. And so, when you bought a Tesla years ago, compared to the battery tech now, the battery tech is just forever getting better. Yeah. So the problem is you're going to buy a car now and it's going to be in a year's time.
Outdated.
Already outdated, just in battery tech. Yeah. Alone. And they're not talking anything else, right?
And the problem is, even if you keep it, right, the reason why you'd keep an internal combustion motor back in the day is because it had something special to it. Maybe it had Like, for example, Honda, right? Maybe it had a K20 in it. You loved it, it read to 9,000 RPM.
Sounded good.
Sounded
went
awesome.
Fast,
So you don't want to really get rid of it. So you just keep fixing it, right? And if the engine blows, you just buy another one.
Yeah.
Right? But with an electric car, there is what's enticing you to keep it?
I mean, and we've said this for a very long time, electric cars. Look, I think they have their place.
Yeah.
They definitely certainly have their place.
But I'd never bloody own one.
And that's fair, right? For me, I'd probably a bit more, I'd consider it, right? But the thing we've always agreed upon is there really isn't any like heart and soul to these EVs, right? You go from one to the other, and they're slightly different interiors, or they look a bit different, or whatever else, and they might be a bit faster or whatever. Yeah. But it's all sort of emotionless. It's not you don't jump in one of the goes and go. You hear it, you feel it, you want to be involved in that car. And I think that's the biggest problem, right?
The only car company that's done a kind of good job is Hyundai with the Ioniq 5N, which I test drove.
I was going to say, you looked at that and you're actually pretty impressed.
I was pretty impressed, but still, if you put that in front of me in an i30N, I'd still go the i30N. Like, there's no way I'm not going in. I don't care if the electric, and this is another thing, when people go, oh, my electric car could beat your car, it's like, I don't care.
And again, you're talking about electric cars on the street. At what point are you, are you going to need to race someone
0 to 100, it's I don't know, and they're heavy. You can feel that in the corners. And again, the only car that I've never felt that with was the Ioniq, but you could still feel the weight. It's not more nimble than a Lotus, Like the Exige is a way more nimble car. Like you would put them on a track side by side, the Exige is going to kick its butt, right around corners like any day of the week.
What are you going to prefer to drive on a track?
Oh, of course.
Are you going to take an Ioniq 5N, or are you going to take
a Lotus Exige?
I think we both know what we're going to take.
Like So and look, car companies are starting to realise this, and BMW have also teamed up with Toyota with the hydrogen power.
Yeah, I see a bit of stuff going on.
So they've done that.
Porsche doing the synthetic fuels and all that.
Porsche doing synthetic fuel, and so a lot of these car companies are starting to realise that their plans for 2030 are now just stupid. Like
I'm thinking they're probably not achievable.
No.
I mean, the infrastructure's still not there. I think they're realising there's a bit of a turn in the market when it comes to the desire for EV. Yeah. And these companies are looking for alternatives.
And it kind of defeats the purpose if you think about it. If they're fast consumer goods like an iPhone, right? If you're updating every year and no one buys a second-hand one, aren't you doing worse for the environment?
Oh, yeah, because it just becomes expendable, right? Yeah.
So it's defeating the whole bloody purpose.
Yeah, look,
So I don't get it. I would never own one. I think I would more consider it a hybrid or a hydrogen.
And look, I think we've had hybrids for a long time, right? Yeah. And I think hybrids are great.
I don't think hybrids are bad at all. If you have a big V8 with a hybrid system, what's wrong with that? No. Like I'm all for that. Like I don't understand why Mercedes, if they wanted to with the C63, why didn't they just make it a hybrid, which they did with the top of like the higher models, right? They made the GT a hybrid. They made that a hybrid, right? So why wouldn't you just do that with the C63?
Isn't C63 already?
Yeah, but it's a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol motor.
Your problems with the petrol motor version. Yeah, okay.
So what we discussed about this is there is no reason to buy the C63, the brand new one. Look, it is a gorgeous car. I'm not going to say it's not.
Oh, and the interior, the tech,
it's mad.
Phenomenal.
But
don't get me wrong.
Why would you spend that much more when an A45 has the same motor? And yes, it's not a hybrid. Yes, the C63 has more power, but all you need to do to the A45 is tune it.
Even the CLA.
CLA.
It's still a sedan.
It's the exact same motor.
It's not quite as big.
Yeah.
But it's still a Mercedes-AMG sedan.
Yeah. And it's still
spending $100,000,
yeah,
or you spend $180 on a C63 with the same engine. Okay, yes, more power, yes, whatever.
With the hybrid,
but
and it sounds worse.
Yeah, zero emotion, zero. Anything.
It sounds worse than the A45. It's even more muffled. So I don't look.
We're struggling to see if you guys didn't understand
the concept of why you would even sit like. I'm sorry, I'd buy an M3.
Yeah,
I don't know why you would.
BMW's probably crushing it.
Yeah, or buy an Alfa Romeo Quadrifour there.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got to buy one of those. But so hybrids do work, but they only work if you keep the same engine that you once have, which they did with the new M5. So they kept the same engine.
Ridiculous beast.
But that doesn't make any sense as well because it's heavier now.
Isn't it like 2.5 tons or something?
Yeah, so it's heavier.
It's a very, very heavy car.
And again, engine noise is muffled and the exhaust is muffled. So look, it's hard to please the car enthusiasts at the moment because what's happening is, and I get all these manufacturers, they have to do all these rules and regulations.
You know what's impressed me or what I've liked is what Hyundai's doing.
Yeah, you know what? Hat off to Hyundai, and you know what? Every
Honestly,
Hyundai, it's true.
There's some cool Hyundais out there.
And every Hyundai that I do review, I have to say this. I start to think to myself, why are you spending a little bit more for a European, where their build quality and everything is so
They're
bloody
honestly
good.
doing a great job.
They
I'm a
are
fan
doing
of
a
lot
great
of their
job.
Cars. Yeah.
Oh, and also
Even though only 5 end.
true.
Okay,
true,
like it's an EV, but it's probably your favourite one.
yeah. On that point, Honda is teasing concepts of a S2000 replacement.
Yeah, but I always get a bit like, are they?
Yeah, look at the here. Can you check it on the laptop? Let the people see it. I want you guys to see this. I want you to see this.
Alright, let me see.
Nick's gonna pop it up on the laptop. Trust me. There is an S2000 replacement. There are some teaser shots of it.
Mm-hmm.
You've just gone on Google. It'll probably be on Google anyways.
Yeah. So it was, what was it, 2026 Honda S2000 CR concept.
I swear I hope they make this. Yeah, dude, look at this.
Is it on the images?
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I hope they make this. That's right, that's right. Look at that. Go across, look, show them.
They got more?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I think if they do build this, I think I could sit and buy one of those. But you got to ask yourself the question, right? What engine are they going to put in it? Because if it's going to be the turbo Type R motor,
Yeah.
it is good. Don't get me wrong. It's a great motor.
Yeah.
I would love them to reborn, like bring it back to life. The naturally aspirated
Bring like
4-cylinder K20 motor.
Yeah. Would they?
Or K24.
K24 I think would be a rocket ship. I mean, those engines are, even to this day, you're talking Ks, right?
Yeah.
People build them, people get stupid power, they rev to stupid.
Yeah.
They've got to be one of the most capable engines that were ever built, right?
Yeah.
Like, nuts.
If they put that back in that, I'd honestly put a deposit on one. Because that would be a phenomenal car.
Well, even look at, currently, if you wanted to buy the previous S2000.
Yeah.
Their prices have still been up there for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, they hold crazy value. I think, again, we talk about this occasionally, all these cars that were from more like our childhood.
Yeah.
You know, like you look at the old SDIs and the Evos and whatever else that we grew up with, and they've held value because now we're older and we can afford them. We're like, well, I didn't get one of those when I was a kid.
I want it now.
I want it now.
But the one Japanese car that most of us can't probably get even to that level is the R34. They're just stupid now.
Oh, yeah.
They're $500,000. Some of them are selling for $1 million.
It's silly.
It's silly.
Yeah.
But other than that, guys, that's practically it for this week.
Yep.
Again, don't forget the Cars and Coffee event if you're in Sydney. I'll put it in the description below. And also, if you do miss out on that, just go to the Instagram because it's all over it. And
jump on, boys. Have a look. You'll see should have a calendar or something coming up there soon, which will show you guys some of the events we've got coming up. We're looking at doing some Cars and Coffees. Hopefully get some track stuff going as well, which will be a bit of my domain there as well to talk to you guys about. But look, super keen. Get on board, follow us, and let's get going.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on another episode of the MotorMarvel.
Thanks, guys.